Hello everyone, welcome to The Modern Spiritualist. My name is Raheem. Today we're going to talk about continuing what we did last week where I did an overview of the 12 laws of the universe. I'm just going to talk really briefly today about Law 1, which is this concept of oneness, right? That everything is basically made up of the same stuff and that we're sort of a facet of that energy and that it's all kind of just one thing in this multifaceted experience that we are experiencing. So, maybe I'll just use a few metaphors that work for me to kind of think about this. One thing is like if you think about a symphony, right? Or any piece of music really. I'm going to talk about I'm going to use the symphony just because it's like there's a lot of different moving parts. There's like violins, there's second violins, there's violas, there's cellos, there's flutes, there's every kind of horn and brass instrument you can think of. Often there's timpanis, which are drums, and piano. And then you've got your conductor, and then you've got your audience, you've got the instruments, you've got the sound itself, and how these different parts of the sounds make up the symphony. And then you've got basically the whole concept of it, right? Which is, the audience, the container for it, which is like the acoustics, or like the place, the auditorium, the place that you go to listen to sound, right? And then you've got the music of the symphony. So you have all these moving parts for this one thing, which is the piece of music, right? Or maybe the symphony experience itself, or like whatever you consider to be the whole system of going to see a symphony, or going to see a piece of music, or hearing a piece of music, right? If you listen to a song, you're listening to one song, but you're listening to all the different components that make that song. You're listening to the guitar, the piano, the drums, whatever, right? And even though those are all sort of singular parts, together they make the whole. It's the same thing with oneness. Like, yes, we're having this experience in this physical material reality, right, where there's all these different aspects of that reality. As simple as, different things are different things. This is my hand, the thing in front of me, this is a table, this is a couch, this is a wall, right? They're all sort of different things. But then if you go into the science of it, they're just vibrating atoms, right? And different types of atoms form different types of chemicals, which form different types of molecules when they all come together. All that good stuff. So, elements, not chemicals. Elements, which form molecules, which form chemicals. So, in this chemistry of life, it's ultimately all energy and matter, right? And energy is just matter in motion. If I were to, and I've talked about this in different videos before, but if I were to sort of talk about this from a shamanic perspective, basically like the origin story in shamanism is that, in the beginning, there was just the dreamer. Like when you go to sleep at night and you dream, right? The person experiencing the dream. In the beginning, there was just the dreamer, and the dreamer dreamed, right? And that dream that the dreamer dreamt created reality, created existence, created life, created consciousness, right? And that all aspects of reality of existence comes out of that dream. If you want to think of it as like a creator or an artist, right? You have this initial idea or creation, or idea for creation, right? And then you make the creation. Everything that is a part of this experience that we call life or consciousness or existence is part of the dreaming. And everything born of the dream is also a dreamer. So you, being a conscious entity, right? Born of this dream, of this great dreaming, you have that same power to dream, to create a vision, to make things happen for you, for your life, for the universe, because you have that same power, because you are one with this dream. There's nothing outside of the dream. Nothing can exist outside of the dream, right? Nothing can exist outside of what we can conceive, what we can perceive, what we can create, what we can imagine. And so all of life is just this facet of divine imagination that we're an essential part of. And because we're connected to that consciousness, we have the power to consciously create. We're not separate from it. We are that creator, right? It's bigger than us as individuals, and we are a part of it. We're not separate from it. And that's where the magic of manifestation comes from. This ability to create, which is what manifestation is, because it's your fundamental right as a creator, because you exist, right? If you didn't exist, you couldn't create. Because you do exist, you can create. You have the power to create, and that power is the only power. That power of creation is the only power, and you have it. You have it as a human, as something that exists. You have a right to it. And it can't be taken away from you, right? Because it's part of you. It just can't. And so the interesting thing about the dream is that it's infinite. We have infinite capacity to create, which can be as infinitely beautiful as we want it to be, or as infinitely tragic as we want it to be. We have a choice. We always have a choice. And coming into contact with our power of that choice is a really, really, really magical, amazing thing. It can also be really tragic in certain ways, because once you realize you have that power, you then have to look back at yourself and all the times that you chose to make an act that was outside of your own power, like chose to make to act out of a disempowered place, right? To think, to act with with your thoughts, actions, choices, words, deeds, all the times that you did not step up in a place of power. You have to think about that, because you go, oh, I had a choice all along and I made the wrong choice, right? And that's what we're here for. We're here as humans to learn, to fuck up, to improve, because this is a path of mastery that we're walking, soul school, I've said that before, and this path of mastery requires us to make mistakes so that we can learn from them. And so while it's not about right or wrong, it's just about you and the choices that you've made, and the fact that some of those choices that you made just didn't make you feel the happiest or the most fulfilled or whatever. And that's okay, you can adjust. But if you can't sit with those emotions, that grief, that ability to kind of take ownership for yourself and look at it and say, okay, I did this, I have to grieve that, I feel angry about this choice I made, I feel sad about this decision I made, whatever, I did it, what do I need to do to learn from it, and then how can I pick up my power and then create a better universe for myself and for others as I move forward through my life, right? Because all we have is the present, all we have is the present moment, so all we have is your ability to, from this point on, or every time you forget, to come back from this point on, right, from the present moment, and to say, okay, I'm going to create better, I'm going to do better, I'm going to make better choices, I'm going to really think about what I truly want and then move towards that, because I have the power, and in each and every moment that I remember that I have the power, I can take action, and that action will create a ripple effect that will move me towards my destiny, right? And so that's the approach that you want to take, of like, yes, we make mistakes, yes, we learn from them, yes, we always have an opportunity to come back to the table, to make better choices based on what we learned from past mistakes. And so I don't want to circle too much, because it's easy with oneness, because that's all there is, and so you can end up chasing your tail. So I'm just going to stop there, I think. Just remember that the oneness and love it's all the same thing. That power to create, that joy of creation, that ecstasy of creation, that love, that motivation, that drive, it's all the same thing. All of these emotions come out of that oneness. And so everything that feels the most powerful to us, the most real, the most tangible, it's a really good signal to us that we're really close to the truth of that oneness. And so anything in ourselves as we go about our day that we need to dismantle, that continues to perpetuate the lie of separation, is what needs to be looked at, and those beliefs need to be course corrected to be brought to the oneness. I mean, when I say need, you don't have to do anything, but in terms of wanting to manifest, wanting to live well, wanting to be fulfilled as a person, this, from my perspective, is a great approach, because it works. And every time I meet something in my life that I assume might test the validity of it, I let that test go through, and it always passes. You know what I mean? And so everything that I give you is an opportunity for you to try to break. Try to break it, try to disprove me. I am so confident that you can't, that's what I'm offering you, right? Try to disprove me, try to make anything work without this as a foundation, and just see what happens. Because even if you don't believe in God as sort of this anthropomorphized entity, which I don't either, by the way. I believe that we created it and we're creators or whatever, but I believe that there's so much more than that, and that is not the essence. That's a fabric that we've created. It's not the eternal tapestry, because humans are not permanent. Existence is so much bigger than us, right? And so my offering to you is to view the macro, view it big, view it infinite, view yourself as an agent of change within this infinity to create whatever you want to create. And then see what happens. See what happens when you view life as one, when you view all of creation as one, when you view love as that force behind this oneness, or just the oneness itself, that there's nothing that can come out of that love that isn't love itself. And, see what shifts in your life when you really make a commitment to doing that. When you make a commitment to love, commitment to oneness, a commitment to the understanding that you're a part of this, and so you can change it because you're an essential part of it. There's nothing that's separate for you, it's all you. And so explore yourself, explore your body, explore your mind, explore your world, and let it be a part of you, and then see what happens. Because when we stop isolating ourselves from the rest of it, then we let the love in, we let the joy in, we even let the safety in, because there's a safety in connection with others, or within ourselves, or within the things around us, or the environment at large. So explore that connection. Okay, thank you. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see the next video, and I will see you guys after the holidays in January. Okay.